This video is aimed at those who are in their 40s, 50s, and 60s. Moreover, your 50s and 60s, maybe 70s, but realistically, not that. And it's about these three things. So the first thing is that you need to stop putting off those things that you've always wanted to do. Saying you're going to travel to Japan, or you're going to go, I don't know, join a monastery for a month, or live in a different country. So for me, living in a different country as a local is a huge thing I've always wanted to do. I managed to do that during COVID for a few months in Poland, and it was the most rewarding experience in my life. I was able to work remote, and I can't wait to do that again. And I can't imagine waiting another 20 years in my 50s, if I'm lucky enough to retire in my 50s, to be able to do that again. And so I'd urge you, if you're considering retiring, or you're still got a long leg to go and you're in your late 40s or 50s, that just take a sabbatical, take a few months off. Yes, it's going to cost you some money, but that's literally the point. You need to balance the saving and the spending. And I would urge you to go take that sabbatical and to do those travels that you've been delaying for some time, or just book 2 weeks if you're looking to learn how to snowboard or to take language lessons. We have 168 hours in the week, and most of it, unfortunately, is taken up by our day job. The second thing is I want you to focus and understand the type of energy that people bring into your life. I'm not quite a hippie just yet. I'm a little bit of a tree hugger, but there's a book called Energized by Simon Alexander Ong that I've read recently, and he's now a friend of mine. I played paddle with him a few times. I'm going to scarcely call him a friend. He's an awesome guy, and I have the privilege of knowing him. But he talks about the negative energies that people have in your life, the ones that take from your life. Maybe they're friends, maybe they're co-workers, but you need to extinguish them, get them out your life immediately. But I also want you to reminisce and think about all the people that you've met along your career and the people that have come and gone. Because when you retire, people aren't going to remember you from the workplace after a few months. Maybe if you've known for a few years, they'll remember you. But the vast majority of people just get on with their life. We're all in our own bubble. And I think it's a very harrowing and an awakening message to remember that. And that's really the point. I want you to do the things that you've been delaying. I want you to focus on the type of people you keep in your life, the company you keep, because in retirement, all that matters is the relationships. You can't take any wealth with you. I'm sure you've heard it 1,000 times. If you're delaying retiring right now because you're comfortable, you're competent in your role, you're probably earning the most you've ever earned, which is very common of those that are in late stages of their careers. I want you to realize that there is still a weight on your shoulders. Yes, you may be used to carrying that weight. I used to weigh 120 kilos. I lost 30 kilos doing like the ketogenic diet a couple of years ago. Gained a few kilos back, but I'm nowhere near that number. And the reason I mention that is like if you go to the gym and you pick up a 20 kg dumbbell or a 30 kg dumbbell, like I struggle to lift that weight. But to think that I carried it every single day of my life, and that's kind of like the responsibilities in your career. When my clients quit and they go do a health check 6 months after, their blood pressure is usually dropped by quite a few points. And they didn't realize because they got used to carrying the burden of responsibilities throughout their career. And I don't want you to make that same mistake where you're comfortable, things are okay, things work, and just settling for that. So there's a number of key shifts in mindset. The biggest shift is that you are saving very aggressively, usually in the last decade of retirement. And then you've got to switch to spending. And spending can feel really uncomfortable for a large number of people. And this is more of a conversation video. I've really had to push some clients to spend a bit more, to spend with confidence. And that's where cash flow planning, I can project from your current age all the way to age 100, dot line all the things that might happen, renovations, buying a new car, taking holidays, and get you to spend with confidence. And for some of my clients, it's been a huge struggle to get them to spend even like £20,000 a year in retirement. And they've got a portfolio that may be worth like 1.5 million. I think that's the craziest case I've experienced, where a client that's so used to saving, it's so ingrained, core part of their DNA, that they don't know how to spend. All they know is how to save. And the thing is, everyone I've ever met wished they retired sooner. And so my message to you is to reevaluate those key things in your life and plan to retire sooner.